Hello friends, today we are going to discuss about the JavaScript crash course. So let's start from the scratch how we can use the JavaScript in HTML. So first we need to create a HTML page. For example, exercise2.html. Then HTML. And then in the body section we can use the script tag. Document.write we are using to print into the browser. So let's say if I want to print the Harsh in the browser, I can write document.write and then Harsh. And now you can see we are getting the Harsh in the browser. So whenever you want to print anything in the browser, you can just write document.write and then I want to print the Harsh in the browser, so I'll just write it the Harsh. We can also use the HTML tags in the document.write in the JavaScript. So for example, let's say I want the document.write and this Harsh I want in the h1 tag. So I can start the h1 tag, close the h1 tag, and then I can write my name here, which is Harsh. And then when I'm going to run in the browser, you can see this name is coming big. So if you want to print the name in the h1 tag, the h1 is a HTML tag which we are using in the JavaScript. So you can see the text is bigger now. So we are getting the h1 is the bigger in size. Now let's say if you don't want to display this, you can just comment also. So if you do the comment, you cannot see in the browser then. So you can see we cannot see the name now. So this is how we can do the comment, and this is a single line comment. If you want to do the multi-line comment, so for single line we are using 2 times forward slash. If you want a multi-line comment, then forward slash star, and then here also the star and forward slash. So this is called the multi-line comment. In case of multi-line comment, you cannot see anything in the browser because I have commented all my code. So if you just want to comment a single line, then we can use a single line comment. But if you want to do the comment for the multiple lines, so for multiple lines we are using the multiple comment. So this is the multiple line comments, forward slash star, star forward slash. Now where to put the JavaScript? As I said, we can put into the body section, or even we can put into the head section also. So we can write the script here also, script, and then here also I can write document.write. Let's say I want to print hello world. So we'll get the hello world. So guys, we can write either into the body section also, or we can write into the head section also. But make sure whenever you are writing the JavaScript, you need to use the script tag. Okay, now in this code, if you see, we are having a function and then we are using the alert and then we are calling the function on onload. So here what I have done is, here I have used body onload. Onload is a event. So this is a event in HTML. So there is so many events like onload, onForce, onFocus, onBlur, onSubmit. So onload is also an event. So when the body is going to get load, this code is going to get called. So let's say before that, let me show you the alert first. So I'm just writing the alert here, and in the alert again I am saying hello world. And when I'm refreshing it, you can see the alert is coming. So this is called alert in JavaScript. So when you are writing the alert, you will get the alert like this. And now I'm doing OK. And let's say I want the alert on the body load also. So let me comment this. So if you can see, we are not getting anything. So here I want alert. Alert I want is 111. Then you can see we are getting the 4 times 1. So I just write it on load alert. So we are getting the alert like this. So whenever the body is going to get loaded, this alert is going to get called. Okay, and let me create one function also. So to create the function, we can write function, then function name, and then in the function name, sorry, in the function we have defined the function is message, and then in the curly bracket we can write the code. So I just want to write this hello world inside this, and then I can call the function here. So I'm just calling the message. Let me format the code also. So this is how we can format the entire document. So guys, what I have done is I have just created a message function, and then I have written document.write hello world. So we can see the hello world in the browser, and then when the body is loading, I'm just calling the message function. So you can see when I'm refreshing the page, I'm getting the hello world because this function is going to get called. So why we are using function? So that we can reuse the code again and again. So it means if I'm going to call message multiple times I'm going to get the hello world. So if I'm calling message, let's say 5 times, so I'm going to receive the hello world 5 times. So we do not need to write document.write hello world 5 times. We just need to call the function 5 times. So we are reusing the code again and again. So whenever we are using the function, it means we are reusing the code again and again. There is a separate topic for function as well, but for the time being, you just need to remember, like we are using the function to separate so that we can reuse the code again and again. So I have just written the function here message and just calling it, and you can see I'm getting the hello world. Okay, so as I said, we can write the JavaScript code in the head also and in the body also. So this is the same example. Then if you are having so many JavaScript code, large JavaScript code, so you can have the separate JavaScript file also. So what we can do is, let's say I don't want to write the message function here, so I'm just creating a new file, and my new file name is sample.js, and I'm just writing the message inside the sample.js, and then in exercise 2.html I can call this. So I can write script then src, and in the src I can write the URL. So the URL is sample.js, and if I'm going to run into the browser, you can see I'm getting the same output. Let's see if I want to comment this and refreshing, then I'm not getting. So this time it's taking from the sample.js. Sample.js is a external file. So if you can see here, we are getting the hello world here and like this. So this is how, guys, we are creating a separate external file, separate JavaScript file, and then we can include it. And why we are doing this, see, let's say if we are having so many code of JavaScript, and if you are writing everything in the HTML, then basically what happens is you can see uh, a lot of code in the HTML. So if you want to make the changes, it's going to take some time to find out where exactly it is and doing the changes, because you are combining the HTML and JavaScript both. But in case if you are having the JavaScript in the separate file, so the advantage is, first of all, you can reuse the same code again and again. It means if I want to use this sample.js anywhere else, so let's say I am having another HTML page and I want to use this message function again. So what I can do is I can use it again. I can just include the sample.js and I can use it. So in the sample exercise 3.html also, let's say I'm having the exercise 3.html and I want to use the sample.js, I can use it. So this is what the advantage of using the JavaScript external file is. We can reuse the code again and again. Okay, now showing you some other stuff. So just writing the script and I'm just formatting the document. Okay, so now let's say if I'm rating x is equal to 2 and then y is equal to also 2, and then document dot write, we can do the basic calculation also in JavaScript. So x plus y, then we are getting where x is equal to 2, y is equal to 2, document dot write x plus y. So we can see here we are getting the x plus y, which is 4. Let me do one thing. Let me take in the sample.js only. So we are getting the 4. And then let me give one line break also. So this is the br tag which we are using for the break. So we are getting the 4 in the next line. So guys, we can do some basic calculation also. So like I have written where x is equal to 2, then where y is equal to 2, and I'm writing document dot write x plus y. So I'm getting the 4 here. But let's say if I'm writing x is equal to 2, y is equal to 2, and 2 I'm using in the double quote, so I'm going to get the 22. So if you can see here, we are getting the 22. So if I'm writing x is equal to 2, y is equal to 2x plus y, why? Because now this is a string and this is a number. So number means integer. So whenever you add a string and number, you are getting the like this, the result like this. So x is equal to 2 is an integer, y is equal to 2 is a string, and if I'm writing integer plus string, I'm getting the 22, which is because I have added the integer and string. So that's the reason I'm getting the output like this. But if you are removing the 2, then it will become integer, and then you will get the 4, which we have already seen. Okay, so let me take this code in the same place, because we are having very few codes right now, so I don't want a separate page for that. And I'm removing. Oh, this is fine. Onload I don't want right now, so I've just removed it. I don't want this into the function also, so I have removed the function as well. I'm keeping everything inside outside the function, and you can see we are getting the same output. Okay, now if you see some examples here, if we are writing x is equal to y is equal to 5, z is equal to 2y plus z, so we'll get the 5 plus 2 7, and so is equal to we are using for the assignment purpose, plus is equal to if we are using, it means x is, if I'm writing x plus is equal to y, it means x is equal to x plus y. If I'm writing minus is equal to, it means x is equal to x minus y. If I'm writing multiply is equal to, it means x is equal to x into y. So guys, these are the things which you need to remember. These are the shortcut basically. So instead of writing this, you can write this. And the plus operator we are using for the concatenation. So we have already seen, like, we can add to different variables also, like I have added txt1 plus txt2. So if I'm writing, let's say, first name is equal to Harsh, whereas last name first name plus last name. So if I'm writing like this, the first name plus last name, you can see I'm getting the Harsh Tiwari. So if I want to give a break here, I can write document.write, and in the document.write I can use the br tag. So when I'm using the br tag, you can see the Harsh Tiwari in the next line. So I'm getting the Harsh Tiwari in the next line because I have given the break here, and then I have defined two. So plus we are using for the concatenation. So if I want to add two different strings, so like first name we are having and then we are having the last name. So if you want to add the two string, we can use the plus sign. So plus sign we are using for the concatenation. So if it is a string, then it will concat it, and then you can see the result. So for example, here we are seeing Harsh and then Tiwari. But if it is a number, so in case of number, you can see the outputs, like when we have seen x is equal to 2, y is equal to 2, so we are getting the 4. So guys, if you write the plus sign, in case of integer, you can see the addition, but when you are writing in the string, then it will concatenate. So if you write here, we can see the Harsh, and then we are getting the Tiwari. Okay, now comparison operators. So these are the comparison operators. So either we can use the double code or we can use the triple code also. So we are using both double code and triple code for the comparison purpose. So let me, okay, so for example, in this case, x is equal to 2, y is equal to 2. As I said, whenever we are writing this like x is equal to 2 and then y is equal to 2, and if this is in the double code, so this is a string. So if I'm just going to compare it, so I'm just writing if, and then in if I'm writing the condition. So if, let's say, x is equal to y, so if x is equal to y, alert both is same, so both is same, else alert both is not same. So when I'm writing x is equal to y, both is same, otherwise both is not same. And when I'm refreshing it, you can see I'm getting both is same. Why? Because this x is 2, y is also 2, so that's the reason we are getting the both is same. But in case if I'm using the triple equal to, so basically triple equal to is checking the data type also. So it will check whether the x and y is having the same data type or not. So if I'm doing the x triple equal to y, then if you see the output, we are getting both is not same. So in this case, we are getting this both is not same. Why? Because x is integer, y is also integer. So if you are comparing the x and y, you can see the x is a integer but y is a string. So if you are comparing this, so data type is different. So this triple equal to check the data type also. So when we are using the double code, it just check whether both is same or not. If you are using the triple code, then it will check the data type also. So it will check whether the uh, data type is also same or not. So in this case, the data type is not same because this is integer and this is a string. So that's the reason we are getting the else condition when we are getting both is not same. In the same way, we can use not equal to also, greater than also, less than also, greater than equal to, less than is equal to. So these are some more uh, operators which we can use. So for example, x is greater than y, then do this. If x is less than y, then do this. If x is greater than equal to this, or y, less than is equal to this. So these are various conditions which we can use. Then we are having AND operator. AND operator, basically we are using if both the condition is true. So when both the condition is true, then we are using the AND operator. So for example, x is less than 10, y is greater than 1. So let's say I am having x is 6 and y is 3. So here I have written x is less than 10. So yes, x is 6, so it is less than 10, and y is 3, so it is greater than 1. So in that case, we'll get the true. And then in this OR operator, we are writing x is equal to 5, y is equal to 5. So what is x? X is 6 and y is 3. So obviously both is not is equal to 5 and not is equal to, so this is false. And not x is equal to y means if this is not same. So in this case, x is not is equal to y. So x is equal to 6 and y is equal to 3. So both is not equal to, then we are getting the true, because x and y both is not equal, so it will return the true. So now we are going to see the conditional operators. So conditional operators is, for example, here I have written the greetings visitors is president, then print the president or print the dear. So let me take this code here, and I'm just creating a variable called visitor. So I'm saying where visitor is equal to, and then I want this to be press semicolon, and then this entire into the greeting, and then document dot write. I'm just going to run this in the browser, and you can see we are getting dear president. So we are getting dear president because I have just creating a variable called president visitor. Visitor is press, and I have written if visitor is press, print dear president, and if it is not, print dear. So because this is the visitor is press, so we are getting the dear president. And if it is not press, so let's say here I am writing pressing, so you can see it will go into the else condition, and then we'll get the dear. So guys, this is just a shortcut of if else condition. This is called ternary operator which we can use. So if you want to have the shortcut of if else condition, so it's little bit straightforward. Okay, I don't want any alert, so I have just commented it. Okay, now talking about the conditions right now. So we'll discuss about what is if statement, then we'll discuss about if else statement, then we'll see how the if else statement will work, and then at last we'll see the switch statement. So first is if statement. So the if statement we have already seen here also, like the x is 2 and y is 2. So let me take this code below. So I'm saying if x is y, 2, y is 2. If x is equal to y, then both is same. Otherwise both is not same. So both is same. Both is not same because, as I said, this is a string and this is a number. So let me take both the number only. So I'm writing 2. In this case, both is same. So this is how we can use the if condition, and this is the else condition. So we can have the else condition also. So based on the requirement, we can use either the if or else condition. Now let me create a new variable. So I'm saying where today is equal to Wednesday. And now I'm writing if condition. So I'm writing, instead of this, taking this if else. So if I'm saying if today is Wednesday, write here document dot write Wednesday, else document dot write today is not Wednesday. So when I'm running this, I'm just creating a variable called today is Wednesday, and then I'm saying if today is equal to Wednesday. So we are getting this document dot write Wednesday, else today is not Wednesday. we are getting the error X is not defined. That's the reason we cannot see the output on line number 15. Line number 15, okay, because we have taken the condition below, that's the reason. Anyways, I'm just commenting this and then refreshing this. So you can see guys, we are getting Wednesday because we have alerted here. So let me remove the alert and then I'm just refreshing it. So I'm getting today is not Wednesday. Sorry. So we are getting today is not Wednesday, because if today is Wednesday, then we can just print today is Wednesday or today is not Wednesday. So guys, in the same way we can have the if else else if condition also. So let me write the else if condition here. So for example, I'm just taking this and saying else if today is equal to let's say Friday. So we can say today is Friday. I'm taking this else if again. We can write the else if condition multiple times. So if it is Sunday, today is Sunday. So let me format the code. I'm just formatting the document. So you can see here, if we have just created a variable called Wednesday, today is Wednesday. So if today is Wednesday, we'll getting the document.write Wednesday. Else if it is Friday, then we'll get today's Friday. Otherwise, if it is Sunday, we'll get the Sunday, and if it is nothing, then we'll get the else condition. So we are getting today is not Wednesday. We are getting into the else condition. Why? Because if you see here, we have used the W in capital. JavaScript is case sensitive. So here also I need to write the in capital only, then only it will go into the Wednesday condition. And you can see now we are getting is Wednesday in the output. Okay guys, so this is how we are using the if else condition. Then we can use the switch statement also. So okay, before that let me show you the example here. So in the if condition I have written d is equal to new date and then d dot get hours. If time is less than 10, then this. Okay, so when we are using the date, when I'm writing d is equal to new date, we'll get the today date, and then I'm writing time is equal to d dot get hours, so we'll get the hours. So right now whatever the hours it is, we'll get the hours, and we are just doing the if condition. So if it is less than 10, then just print a good morning. So in this condition we are writing this. So only I'm explaining you this part because you might not know what is this. So to use the date, so if you want to print a date in JavaScript, we can use the new date. So I've just written where d is equal to new date, we'll get the date, and then I'm saying I want the time also. So I've just written time where time is equal to d dot get hours. So we'll get the hours as well. And then I'm just saying document dot write and then time. You can see we are not getting it, so let me check into the inspect element if there is any error. So we are getting document, okay, spelling mistake. So we can just write document dot write time, and you can see guys, we are getting the time which is 6 because it's 6 in the morning right now. So we are getting the 6 here. So this is how we'll get the time. So if you see here, I've just written where d is equal to new date. One second. Okay, so where d is equal to new date and d dot get hours. So we are getting the number of hours, which is 6 right now. So if time is less than 10, yeah, it is 6. So we are getting the good morning. In the same way, we can use the if else statement also, which we have already seen. So the condition, I'm using the same date example here also, which I have already explained you. So whenever we write where d is equal to new date, we are getting today date. And if you want to take the hours, if you want to find out the hours, you can just write d dot get hours, you will get the hours. Even we have seen this if else if is else if condition as well. So we'll see the loop now. So JavaScript loops. So we are having various loops, like first is the for loop. So we are using for loop when you know in advance how many times you want to script a run. So for example, I want to print a number from 1 to 10. So I can use the loop. So this is the syntax. So we can write first the start value. So I want to start from 0. Then it is less than the length. So let's say I want to print a 10 only. So I'm just writing the 10. And then index plus plus. So the increment. And then I want to print the index. So I can write here document dot write and then the index. So when I'm going to run this in the browser, you can see I'm getting this 0, 1, 2, 3 till 9. Why? Because I have written it is less than 10. So when I'm writing is equal to 10, you can see we are getting the 10 also. And let's say if I want to give a break, so if I want a break, I can write document.write index, again document.write, and then I can give the BR tag. And then guys, you can see we are getting the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So whenever you want to print the number values like this, for example, I want to print a number from 1 to 10, so I can just use the for loop. So this is the syntax which you need to remember. So first we are doing the initialization, then we are giving the condition. So if you, whether you want to do the increment or decrement, and this is the condition, like till when you want to execute this, and then whatever the code it is, you need to use in the curly bracket. In the same way, we are having the for loop also. So in the for loop, if you see this example, I have written I is equal to 0, I is less than is equal to 5, and then the number is I, document.write break. So it means when I'm going to run this code, so I is 0, so we are just initially, we are just defining the value of I, which is 0, and then saying I is less than is equal to 5, is equal to 5, so just print this. So we are going to get the same output till 5 will get it. So instead of writing everything in the same line in for loop, we are writing everything in the same line, like the initialization also, the condition also, everything we write in the same line. But in the while loop, we are writing into the multiple lines. So for example, if you can see here, we are writing the code. So document.write is, then this is a break, and this is the increment. We can have the do while loop also. So do while is we can just write the do. So for example, do then code to be executed, and you can write the while condition also. So I have just written I is equal to 0, then I have written a do condition. So document dot write the number is I, and then I have written document dot write break I plus plus. So when I'm writing this code, and then we can write the while condition in the last. So in the do while, we need to do the initialization first. Then we can write the do condition, and in the curly bracket whatever the code you want to do, and then the condition we are giving in the last. So like I want to execute this 5 times, so this while condition comes into the last. So guys, in do while basically we are first telling whatever we want to do, and then we are using the while condition. So this is what the do while loop is. Now the break statement. In the break statement, basically if you can see the code, I'm just using the for loop. Okay, so let me show you the break. So let's say I have written this condition, I want to print from 1 to 10. So I've just written this, and when I'm running this in the browser, I'm getting the result from 1 to 10. Now here I have just written if index is equal to 4, then I'm saying break. So you can see here we are getting only till 4. Why? Because we have written if index is 4, then break it. It means we don't want to see anything else after that, because we are breaking the code. So we are getting only till 5. In the same way we can use the continue also. So when you are using the continue, so let me write this here. So you can see when we are using the continue, you cannot see the 4 actually. So if you want to skip something, so let's say I want to skip the 4. So I've just written if index is 4, continue. It means if it is 4, just skip it. So you can see the value only from 1 to 10, and we are just skipping the 4. So this is how the continue statement work. Okay, now there is another loop called for in loop. So we have seen the for loop, while loop, and do while loop. Now there is another which is very important called for in loop. So let me show you the for in loop. So let's say I'm just creating an array. So I'm writing where family. I'm just creating a family array, and in the family array I want to store A, comma B, comma C, comma D, and then document dot write family, then 0. And when I'm running, you can see we are getting the A. In the same way, if you want to print a B, you need to write family ka 1. If you want to print C, family ka 2, then D, family ka 3. So this we have already discussed in the beginning, like how we can define the array, what is array we are using to store the multiple values. Then indexing start from 0. So if you want to print A, you can write 0 because this start from 0, then 1, 2, 3. So guys, this we have already discussed in the beginning, what is array and how we can use it. Now what is going to be happens here is if I want to print ABCD, I need to write document.write family ka 0, then family ka 1, family ka 2, family ka 3. So I need to write like this 0, 1, 2, 3, and we'll get the ABCD. Otherwise, we can use the for in loop also. So instead of writing the 0, 1, 2, 3 multiple times, we can use the for in loop as well. So what I can do is I can write for, and then in the for bar in family, bar could be anything, and then document dot write family, and then bar. So you can see here I'm getting ABCD. I just want a break, so I'm just taking this line break. So you can see we're getting the ABCD. So this is, guys, how we can use the for in loop. So for bar, in place of bar you can write anything, like for example for x in family and then family ka x. So this is nothing but this is just a key, and this is our array. So for key in family, print the array of all the keys. So you can, like we are writing family ka 0 1 2 3. So bar is nothing but it will iterate all the family. So if you are having 10 members in the family, it will iterate for all the 10 members, and then we are just saying print it. So we are getting the same in the browser. Switch statement. So guys, switch statement is the alternative of if else condition. So we can use the switch as well. So this is the syntax, like switch and then the case 1. If the case 1 satisfy, then execute the code, otherwise break, means after that break, and then case 2, then execute code, then break. Then in default we are saying this is the condition. So if you see here, I am writing where I is equal to 1, switch I, case is 0. If case is 0, print this. If case is 1, print this. If case is 2, this. If break, if case is 3, then this. Otherwise in default we are going to get this. So when I'm going to run this code, what we are going to achieve in the output? So where I is 1, it means it is 1. So switch I is 1, so it will go into the case 1 and it will print I is equal to 1. So let me run this code in my editor. So you can see I'm getting I is equal to 1, I is equal to 2. Let me give a line break. So I is equal to 1, I is equal to 2. Why? The I is 1, so it goes into the switch condition, it's case 1, so we are printing I is equal to 1. But we are getting I is equal to 2 also. So what you can do is, you can use the break here. And when we are using the break, here also we can use the break. So we are getting I is equal to 1. So this is the output. And then if I'm not using the break, then it will goes to the I is equal to 2 also. In I is equal to 2 also, if I'm not using, then it will print I is equal to 3 also. So guys, what happens is, when we are using the switch condition, we need to make sure we are using the break statement also. Sorry. So the I is 1, switch is 1, so we are printing this, and then we are saying the break. So it means whenever we are using it, you need to make sure we are using the break statement also, because if you are using the break statement, then obviously if the condition is satisfied, it will break it, so it will not go into the next line. So you always need to use the break also, otherwise if the condition is satisfied, then also it will print the next code. Okay. So if you can see in this example, I've just written the where d is equal to new date and d dot get day. So we are getting the today day. So let's say it is the day which we are going to get. So let me run this code and see what we are going to achieve in this. So I'm just writing where d is equal to new day, the day dot get day, and then I'm just doing the alert, the day, and then just running in the browser. So we are getting 3. So guys, why we are getting 3? Because start from 0. So if it is Sunday, then we are getting 0. If it is Monday, then 1. If it is Tuesday, then 2. If it is Wednesday, then 3. So today is Wednesday, so we are getting the 3 in the output. So what we have done is we have written it will go into the case 3. So the case 3 is not there. So it will go into the default and it will print this. I am really looking forward to this weekend. So let me run this also and show you the output. So you can see I'm getting this. I'm really forwarding to this weekend. Okay, now next is the pop-up boxes. So we are having various pop-up boxes, like we can use the alert box, which we have already seen. We are having the confirm box also. So for confirm box, we just need to write the confirm here. So let's remove this and writing confirm. And in the confirm, I am writing, do you really want to exit? Maybe you have seen this confirm box in so many websites, like in Google also, in Gmail. When you're writing something and closing it, it's asking in between, do you really want to exit? If by mistake you are clicking on the close button, so we are getting this, do you really want to exit? So I'm just refreshing it, you can see here. So do you really want to exit? If you are saying okay, so it will exit it. Otherwise, if you press cancel, so it will cancel it. So it means if you are pressing OK, then what happens? So I'm just taking this into the variable. So let's say where confirm, where conf is equal to this, and then I'm just saying console.log we are using for the debugging. So I'm just writing this conf in the console.log, and then if you want to see the console.log in the browser, you can just write the F12 and then click on the console, and then just refreshing this, and you can see here when I'm clicking OK, I'm getting this. So do you really want to exit? And I'm just showing you this in the console also. In the console I'm getting true. Why I'm getting true? Because when I've refreshed it, 1 second guys, let me remove the debugger because otherwise it will always come. So when I'm clicking on OK, it's giving me true, and when I'm clicking on cancel, it's giving me false. So it means in the confirm box, if you click on OK, you will get true, but when you click on cancel, you will get a false. So this you are going to get from the console itself. So in confirm box basically return the true and false. So if you click on OK, confirm box return true, but if you click on cancel, confirm box return the cancel. So when I'm clicking on OK, I'm getting this true. When I'm clicking on cancel, I'm getting the false. So this is how we can use the confirm box. Now the next is prompt box. So we can use the prompt box also. So how we can use the prompt box? We can just write the prompt, and then in the prompt box, let's say I'm just writing enter your name, and then by default I want to write the name is Ramesh, and then just running in the browser, and I'm just okay, just commenting this confirm box first because I don't want a confirm box right now. So I'm just doing the comment for this. I just want a prompt box, so I write it enter your name and then this Ramesh. So when I'm refreshing this, you can see the Ramesh is here. When I'm clicking on OK, it's done. And when I'm clicking on cancel, So let me show you like what we are going to get if we are clicking on the OK and the cancel. So I'm just taking again this also into the variable called from, and then just doing the console.log. So writing the console.log, and then in the console.log I'm writing from and semicolon. Okay, now when I'm refreshing the code, sorry. Yeah, sorry guys. So when I'm clicking on OK, you can see we are getting the same name. We are getting the name which is Ramesh. But when I'm clicking on cancel, I'm getting the null. So whenever we are using the prawn box, and when we are saying OK, then we are getting the name. But when we are saying cancel, we are getting the null value. So this is how the prawn box will work. The JavaScript basic function we have already seen, like how we are using the function. We can just write the function, then function name, like we have done for message also previously. Or let me write it again for you. So we can just write the function, and then we can have the function name which is message. And let's say my function just want to give the alert, and in the alert I just want to print this is my message, and then just calling this function. So when I'm just calling this function and running in the browser, so you can see here, okay, let me uh, comment this code, the prompt box, refreshing it again. So we are getting this is my message. So guys, when I'm refreshing, I'm getting this is my message. Why? Because I've just created a function. So to create a function, we need to write the function, then function name which is message, and then whatever you want to do you can write inside this in the curly bracket, and then I'm just calling the function. So when I'm calling the message function, I'm getting the alert, this is my message. So guys, why we are using functions? So that we can reuse the code again and again. We are having a separate session for message, we are having a separate session for function. So we are going to discuss function in detail in the separate session. But for the time being, you just need to remember, whenever you want to reuse the code again and again, we are using the function. It means if I'm calling the message again, we'll get the alert. So we'll get the alert again. So I do not need to write the alert multiple times. So if you see this, I am getting the alert how many times? 4 times. So I do not need to write this alert, this is my message 4 times. I can just call the function 4 times and I will get the output in the browser. So this is how we are defining the function. So this is another function, this is another example in which I have just created an input box, and then on click, when I'm clicking on it, I'm displaying this function. It means, let me write here only. So I'm just, because this is a HTML code, so we need to write into the HTML section only. So I'm just writing input then text, and then in this input I want to create a button. So let me create a button. So input button, and then value is click here, and then I am saying on click. So when I'm going to click on this, call the message function, which is this one. Now I'm going to run this. You can see here we are getting this click here. When I'm clicking on this, we are getting the alert. So this on click is HTML event. We have seen on load also. In the same way, we can use the on click also. So on load, on click, on focus, on blur, on submit, all are the HTML events. So for example, here we are using on click, and then we are calling the message function. So what will the message function do? Message function will just put the alert. So we are getting this is my message. So when I'm clicking on this, you can see I'm getting the alert, this is my message. So guys, this is how we can use the JavaScript and HTML together as well. So I'm just using the event which is called onClick. Okay, now the return statement. So when I'm creating this function, so let me create another function. I want to create a function called add. In this function I want two parameters, so I'm saying I want x comma y, and then I want to add something, so I can just write document.write, or let me write the alert only, alert, and I'm saying x plus y. No, I need to call this function, so I can call the function and then pass two parameters inside it. So let's say I just want to print to pass 2 comma 3. So you can see I'm getting the 5. So now if I want to do the calculation for 5 comma 5, so I can write 5 and then 5, and then you can see we are getting the 10 here. So now I can, I can reuse the code again and again, as I said earlier. So we can do this. I just want to call one time, so I'm doing this and I'm getting the 5. Now I don't want an alert, for example. So I'm just calling this and I'm getting 5, but I don't want the alert right now. What I want is, if I'm passing the x is 2 and y is 3, I want to use this value in my another place. It means I want to use this 5. So let's say I'm saying where z is equal to 5 plus, so I want to add the output of this function in 5, and then I want z, and then I want to print the z. I don't want to print this. So what we can do in that case is, instead of alert here, we can use the return, and then I can write x plus y. So when I'm going to call this, I'm getting 5. I'm taking this result into the variable, and then I'm saying 5 plus result. And then if you want to alert the z, you can write the alert z. And now when I'm going to run this in the browser, you can see we are getting the 10. So 2 plus 3, 5. So we are not printing the 5. That's the reason we have used the return here. So we are just holding the value. This function holding the value of addition. It means this function, when I'm going to call it, it will have the value of 2, 3, which is 5, taking into the variable called result. And then I'm saying this 5 plus result. It means 5 plus 2 plus 3, which is 5. So total we are getting the z, 10. So guys, this is how we can use the return statement. Lifetime of JavaScript variables. So basically guys, there is two type of variable, local variable and global variable. So whenever you define a variable inside the function, it become a local variable. It means when you are defining a variable inside the function. So for example, if you define some variable inside this message function, so that is called local variable. But whenever you define the variable outside the function, it means if I am defining here or anywhere outside the function, if I am defining a variable, then it is called a global variable. It means if it is inside, then it is a local variable. If it is inside the function, then it is a local variable. If it is outside the function, then it is a global variable. So we can have the local variable also and global variables also. So this local and global variable I am going to explain you in detail when we are going to discuss about the JavaScript function. But for the time being, you just need to remember two types of variable: local variable, global variable. The variable which is inside the function is a local variable. The variable which is outside a function is called a global variable. JavaScript events. So as I said, we are having various events like onload, which we have already seen. In the same way, we can use the on unload also. On unload means if I'm going to close the tab, then what is going to happen? Then this event is going to get fired. In the same way, we are having on focus also. We can use the on blur also, on change also. These examples we are going to see later on. But for the time being, you just need to remember these are the events which is there in HTML, which we can use on submit. So let me show you one on change example also. So I'm just writing here only. I'm saying I want a input type text, and I'm just calling the same on change here, and I want to print the alert when on change is happening. So I'm saying I want to print 1. So when I'm running this, you can see here, if I'm typing something and when I'm clicking, you can see the alert is coming. So guys, whenever I'm clicking outside, I'm getting the, whenever I'm changing something and clicking on outside, then I'm getting the alert. It means whenever there is some changes is happening in the input box, this on change event is going to get triggered. And that's the reason you can see when I'm changing something, and outside going, then we are getting the alert. So this is the on change example. We have seen the on click also, on load also we have seen. In the same way we can use the on submit also. So if you are having a form, let's say if you are having a login form, and when you are clicking on login, you want to perform certain kind of actions, so you can use the on submit also. Then we are having on mouse over, on mouse out. So for example, here I'm just creating a paragraph, and I'm saying this is paragraph, and then in the p tag I'm writing on mouse over. I'm saying alert 1. So what is going to be happens, guys, when I'm running this code, when I'm hovering the mouse there in the paragraph, you can see the alert is coming. So whenever I'm going to hover the mouse in the paragraph, we'll get the alert. So let me write some CSS also here. Let me get the border. So you can see this is a paragraph. So if I'm hovering the mouse anywhere, if I'm going, you can see we're getting the alert. Okay. So now the last topic is try catch statement. So try catch statement we are using for the debugging basically. So if you want to debug the code, you can use the try catch. So for example, let's say here on the script tag only, I'm just removing this and calling a function here which is not defined. So let's say I am calling the multiply function. I haven't created the multiply function, but I am calling it here. Even I have not defined. So what is going to happen, guys? If I have not defined, obviously I will get the error. So if I'm refreshing the page, you can see. Let me remove this, which is at least the mouse paragraph over, because otherwise it will always give us the alert. So I'm just removing this. Alert 10, which is this one. Okay. So now guys, if you see the inspect element, you can see the error. Multiply is not defined because we have not defined this multiply function. So if you have not defined the function, you cannot use it. So if you want to use it, make sure you are creating the function first. But this function we are getting here, this error message we are getting here. So we can use the try catch to handle the error. So what we can do is, we need to write try and then in the catch. So what we can do is, we can say try this message function in the try, and if there is any, and in the catch we can write alert, or let's say console.log, or okay, alert only. We can write error dot message. So now if I'm going to run this code, you can see multiple is not defined because the multiple function is not defined. So guys, this time we are getting the error. We are getting our own error. In the console there is no error because we have handled the error. So whenever you want to handle the error by your own, you can use the try catch statement. So like I have done the try, I tried this code and then I have catch it also. So if you can see here, multiple is not defined because I am trying this, and if there is any error, I'm just catching it. So guys, this is how we are using the try and catch statement. So we can try this code, and if there is any error, then just catch it. Now guys, in this example, if you see, we are just using the try and catch, and the error message which we are getting, this is by default from JavaScript. So it is not defined, we are getting the error. Let's say if you want to write your own custom error. So if you want to write your own custom error, then you can use try, catch and throw. So if you are using try, catch and throw, you will get your own custom error. So let me show you how. So I'm just taking this code, and this time I'm creating a new page. So let's say here I'm creating a new page called exercise.html, exercise3.html. And then here I'm writing the script tag, and this is the entire code which I have copied. And then I can just format the document. Okay. So guys, what I have written is I have written where x is equal to prompt enter a number between 0 and 10. So it will give us the prompt box, and it will ask us to write the number between 0 and 10. So let's say if I am writing 2. So what we have written is we have again used the try and the catch, but only this time we are throwing the error. Last time also we have done the try catch only, but we are using the predefined error messages. But this time we are writing our own throw statement. So we have written if x is less than 10, then throw the error 1. If it is less than 0, then throw the error 2. If it is not a number, is none, basically check whether it is a number or not. If it is not a number, then the error 3. And then in the catch we are just catching it. So if we are getting the error 1, just show this alert. If you are getting the error 2, then show this, and if you are getting the error 3, then show this. So I'm just going to run this in the browser, exercise3.html, and it's asking guys enter the number between 0 and 10. I'm saying 12, so I'm getting the value is too high. Why? Because here we have written if error 2, if x is less than 0, then error 2, the value is too low. But if it is greater than 10, then error 1. So we are getting this alert, the value is too high. If I'm writing less than 0, it means if I'm writing -2, then we are getting the values too low. So it goes here, and then we are getting the values too low. And let's say if I'm writing not a number, if I'm just writing a string like this, and then when I'm clicking on OK, I'm getting the value is not a number. So we are getting the error 1. In error 1 we are getting this. If it is error 2, then we are getting the value is too low. If it is error 3, then we are getting the value is not a number. So guys, this is how we can handle the errors. So in try and catch throw, we can have the throw statement and we can throw the errors. Okay, now it's a last thing. So let's say I'm having this string and I want to print into the browser. So I'm just going here in the script tag, writing this. So if you can see guys, here only in the code editor only, I'm just removing the other code which is not required. If I'm saying we are the so-called Vikings from the north, document.write.txt, you can see there is an error. Even if I'm going to run this, you can see the syntax error is here. Sorry, why? Because this start here and this ends here. But what we are trying to achieve is we are having a string in which there is one word which contain double quote, and we just want to print the same in the browser with double quote. That's what we are trying right now. But unfortunately, we are not able to do it. We are getting the error. So what we can do is we can just use the backward slash here. So we can use the backward slash here and here also. And then if I'm going to run this, you can see we are getting the double quotes as well. So this is the first option guys. So if you are using the double quote and then if you want to print something in the browser, you need to scap it. So you can use the backward slash before the double quote. Or if you don't want to use the backward slash, then what you can do, if you don't want to use the backward slash, then guys we can use the single quote here also and here also, and then also it will give us the same output. So guys, remember, whenever you are creating a string, you can use either a single quote or double quote, there is no problem. But when you are using the same with the HTML, so if you see here, I want to print this Vikings here with double quote, and because this is a string, if I'm using the double quote outside, it will assume like this double quote end here only. That's the reason we need to use the backward slash, which we have seen in the previous example. But so better to use the single quote then. And if it is so, let me write the same here, double quote and then double quote. So in that case we need to use the backward slash here. So better if we are having the double quote, but otherwise JavaScript religion this start here and this is end here only. That's the reason we are getting the error. So we need to use the backward slash, or you can use the single quote like this. And then again, if I want to give a break, I can write document.write. Okay guys, so I think that's it from my side. So we have completed the crash course. So what we have discussed is, I'm just doing the recap again. So we have seen like where we can use the JavaScript, and we have seen the JavaScript statements. So we are using the JavaScript in the script tag. We have also seen like how we can create a variable, then how we can create an array. Then we have discussed about the JavaScript objects as well. Then we have seen how we can do the comments, like the single line comment and multiple line comments. We have seen variables. We are using variables. Why we are using variables? So we have discussed like variable is a container which contains some information. So it could be a string, it could be an array, it could be the object, it could be the number. Then we have discussed about the operators also. So like we are having greater than, less than, is equal to, those are the operators. We have discussed how we can do the comparison as well. So the comparison operators also we have seen. We have seen the if else condition. So the if it is true, then we'll get the if, otherwise it will go into the else condition. We have seen the if else condition also. We have discussed about the loops as well, in which we have discussed the for loop, while loop, do while loop, and for in loop. How the the flow control statement we have discussed. Then switch and pop-up boxes. So the switch statement which we can use in place of if else condition, which we have already discussed. Then the pop-up boxes, we are having the alert, then we are having the confirm box also, and the prompt box. We have discussed about the function also. So why we are using the, how we can create a function, why we are using the function, like to reuse the code again and again we are using the function. Then we have discussed about the events as well. So how many events we are having. Then we have discussed the try, catch, and throw as well. So how we can handle the errors. And there is some special characters is there in HTML. So let me show you the special characters. So for example, for single quote, for double quote, we are using the backward slash to skip it, which we have already. For ampersand, we can use the and backslash this. If you want a new line, you can write the n, you will get a new line. Char is written r. If you want to have the tab space, you can write the tab t. If you want a backspace, you can write the b, and the form feed is f. So okay, these are the other special characters which we can use. Also very important, JavaScript is case sensitive. So JavaScript is a case sensitive. Okay guys, so I think that's it from my side. Thank you very much. See you in next lecture.